to see whether teams have been sharing information, or maybe if they figured out quite how the different spots on this sheet are running. We've watched more rocks here than anybody else. No one's asked us. We have no secrets to hide. But it looks here we might get a couple of rocks in play. Actually, team going coming up a little bit light on the play. Never really being able to make that big jump into the playoffs, so I'm sure she's super excited to have the record that she has being tied for a week halfway through this championship, hoping to make that leap into the playoffs come the end of this week.
Feed in for a guard.
It's such a great experience to be able to compete at these championships as a U18 team. Of course,
what's that?
This week did not go well.
I haven't lost yet.
Have their own opportunity with their own U18 downs, and I'm sure they'll be able to take any experiences or lessons they learn from here and apply them to those playdowns later on this year. The third for Team Sutherland is Adrian Beliveau. She currently goes to All Saints High School in the Ottawa region. Let's see if she can make this just as her teammate made before her. Unfortunately, coming a little bit deep here. So maybe a bit of an opportunity for Team Thorn to make a draw around here and maybe get a deuce set up for the side. Absolutely, we've seen a lot of teams very cautious, especially playing around the corner guard this early in the game. And on their first one coming in a little bit deep there, so allowing the opportunity for Team Thorn to get some corner, you're probably going to be okay. But it's just those slight misses. There's a shot coming deep that's just been to the team with the hammer that maybe get a deuce set up or possibly more.
It's magenta, it's the sun.
I'm sure they'd love it is to grab some a little bit of so Thorn's one work by the sweepers there. Of course, when we talk about our pre-game practice, I'd say 90% of the shots thrown in that pre-game practice are thrown towards the button. So those paths are really worked in. This path going out to the wings will be quite a bit slower, I think, than that made by both teams to put some rocks in some good spots. Great adjustment there by Lindsay Thorne and her sweepers work in order to get it to the perfect spot. Now sitting one, and possibly a good opportunity to get something set up for themselves. That drop. One of the stories is the fact that this Sutherland team has had a significant amount of time together. I believe the vice Adrian Beliveau is a new addition this year, having skipped her own team previously. But I believe the other three have at least 1 year of experience together. I believe Sutherland and Breton have had many years together. So it's going to be interesting to watch the dynamics and their communication mechanics as we work through this game versus maybe Team Thorn, who have been together for a little bit of time, but a younger team, still U18 eligibility, and they've been able to develop this little of the community to be made.
I'm good.
Really seems to stay together. All right. So a little bit of a miscue there by Thorne. I think they just like to get a little bit of a roll in. Ends up just nosing that showing up in any roll. So this is going to allow Team Sutherland maybe the opportunity to escape a little bit here. She's going to try and make a lightweight tap and roll behind the guards. I think even if you make it perfect, you probably still leave some kind of a tap or two for Team Thorne. But just trying to make it as difficult as possible, especially down this path and then with problem and just
Somebody's beat you.
has a little bit of curl and might get in there for her. Fortunate enough that it does come up enough to push that yellow to the back 12, which means that this isn't only a hit for 2 for Lindsay Thorne. We've kind of seen it all in this girl. The 2 box keep going on that in this game. See how they.
Now this guy.
Lots of this game. I think but let's stay on that side. Far at this more that are both team female and also as well they teams in the shape one in teams 3 rather. So I think still lots of week left to go. Nobody's out of it by any means, but definitely wanting to keep pace with the leaders, especially with 2 sets of 2-1 teams playing each other here in this job.
Made the part of the one to hit score can make the double. That's all. That was good. The only chance to score was to hit the one on the left, right? So now, even if he makes a double, it's still one. He's got to make it.
Triple lined up?
No, well, no. Even hard because you got to hit there. Yeah, you just have to.
Julie, I mean, you listen side is one work. Do it. Boy, work. I guess if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? You having plenty of experience in the past couple of years. Moving over to China as a national team coach, I'm sure that's been an amazing experience for you joining the national team's 2 world championships like the World Juniors last year, and you're going to the Youth Olympic Games in Lausanne following these championships. That, changed your perspective, and what advice do you think, or what parallels do you see from those kinds of championships to what you see here with these teams who are still trying to sort of make a little bit of a name for themselves on the circuit here?
They're all trying to look at the same. And that's
Everyone's
Charlie. And I think there's definitely a lesson to be learned trying to grow solid their game at their age group. Standing constantly always trying to improve no matter what level. Even the top in the world bit more, right? So just top of your own levels doesn't mean is improving yourself.
That's the it's not his job.
Your Chelsea law because if we're to make even about the set yourself, you need to do something with it later. I think it's a little bit early if it was me out there. I think we have the option. You're definitely seeing the degree of difficulty with this shot, trying to tack the rock behind the corner and roll behind the other corner herself. I think it's a little bit difficult at this point in the game, this early, but you're going to make it void or that's really going to, I think, separate the wheat from the chaff here this week. Is just those little things, being able to keep your shooter around. And just as we see a shot like this, just a little bit over curling and rolling too far. Those are those tiny little things that are going to really make the difference here at the championships this week. Really focusing that you make sure you don't need to make the shots perfectly every single time, but if you can guarantee that you're always going to stick your shooter, you're always going to play your draws in the rings and all those other little easy things, that's what really separates the best teams from maybe the rest of the group. Get it that come up that happen a number of times in all of our games, especially the times around the cards on from coming light. I know those are far off, but it's been a good game, but just really those fresh paths on. Light tell most similar on this. They start getting we've seen how did not that they caught seen come up not but getting caught yourself the lights. Maybe just quite doing what for yourself. What a great shot there by Sierra Sutherland. Of course, that spot has wreaked havoc with pretty much every team that's come over because she's not understanding just how straight it is and adjusting the broom properly. Sierra Sutherland making a great adjustment there, knowing exactly where that rock is going to go and gets it dead buried. She's going to have to basically follow Sierra down, play the exact same path. I think the call might be try to go past the rock Sierra adjusted. We're trying to go back four, get it a piece buried so that if Sierra ever does try to hit it, it will likely jam onto that red backing.
What's he doing?
There by Lindsay Thorne saying it is a little bit okay. As long as they are a piece buried, the jam on the red is certainly a possibility.
I don't know. Split. This seems a little over-engineered. yards of it's quite over-engineered. Oh, see?
A little bit in this straight path, and it looks like it's
taking engineering, is it?
No, maybe you should.
So an unfortunate miss there by Lindsay Thorne opens the door here for Sierra Sutherland and the possibility to score 4 early in this game and take the lead right back. Absolutely not shying away at all, making some great shots this end. Talking about the split, but up with it herself. First, he's being convincing the 2-point lead going.
This side.
Team with us, just how quickly things can get a little bit out of control here at this championship. Really didn't play that poorly, and they made a smart call in trying to make the run back and got the kill, which is a good tolerance. Maybe was coming up a little bit light on that one draw, and it got her into a lot of trouble on her last one. All credit to the team, Sutherland putting so much pressure on Lindsay Thorne and just not being able to execute that last shot there. But if you want to believe that, I'll take it.
This one doesn't really
Well, I think the first time I did it was about back when I was a U18 actually. It was either my last year of U18s and first year of U21s, and it really can be an overwhelming pressure knowing that you're right there with the leaders, your younger team. If you're like Team Thorne here, your younger team, very few people might have counted you to be in it at this point, and you just have to believe with what got you here. You have to understand that you're here for a reason. You've won 2 games with some great shot making. You need to believe that, yes, you do deserve to be here just as much as everybody else, and just not allow that pressure to get in your way. And I think that just comes with a lot of experience. You play at the leadership, the more experience that amount of pressure, you learn how to deal with it a little bit better every single time. So when you come to your 4th, 5th, or 6th time at these championships like Summit, just learn how to tackle every situation. Things are never going to go 100% your way. There's always going to be some sort of the mix halfway through the week, and you just learn to roll with the punches and do your best to take it one shot at a time. Lucky down this bit of slower path as I took that down. I think if that's towards the button, that would be hard pressed to stay in. But playing to the wings maybe still a little bit fresh here in the 3rd end.
Time of yellow.
So Chelsea Ferrier will try to accomplish what Jimmy Britton was missed on the shot.
Yeah, he said we're not
Possibly roll over to the side of the rings to make a double lane easier later in the end.
and then Ron's just making up that
She's
rule.
just going to get a nose hit though. Good soft here. 14. Looks like it's going to roll out for sure. Team Thorn, not only to not get rid of that stone in the ring, but taking it over in front of the yellow means that it's going to be a lot more difficult to remove that stone later on in the end unless they have some kind of in-off double in order to get rid of it. To make on the side over to the other row, like it's going to give it a try anyways. Maybe try and hit a half rock and not necessarily make a double, but just roll over to the other side of the shoot and possibly try to group those red rocks in order to have a double later on this end. Trying to hold this pretty well, but it's going to be pretty close to that back yellow.
He's close.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Only one. But since you guys, since one of yours was touching the edge of button, the other was a centimeter off. And we're coming from 2.5 feet out.
That was very calm.
The tolerance is you want to just make sure that goes away. If you roll the other way, then
Well, I'm being subjected
you know, at least you're still sitting two and probably have a good chance to force. But I think just a little bit lighter than Sierra would have liked to see there. Had a little bit of extra throw and unfortunately a little bit on the inside.
bit of jazz. Bit of jazz music is much better.
Great throw there by Rebecca Smith. Removes both red stones and also gets a little bit of a roll. All they can roll over. Adrian the earlier set up with Rock Team Thorn just up and then fell at the but just they were home. So here from there just get one and they're gonna have room in order. I think that's about as good as you could do if your Team Sutherland. Now Team Thorn has to be a little bit careful. Of course, a nose hit should leave a pretty easy double for Sierra Sutherland. So needs to make sure she rolls towards or across the center line to try and get as much separation as possible in the area. Yeah, of course. In your attention, I guess, can sometimes work for you around. So then you're not heading toward the opportunity for both teams this end. Concentrating this is back and forth. Looks like things are going to settle down here, and we're going to finish up with a blank end if these last two shots are made. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye out later in this game. How the hammer management is taken later in the game, and they're keeping the hammer. We've seen it use this week for the loss of schools and towards that. Will. With the roll out and get the play. And possibly they death their opportunity. They definitely get the chance to capitalize on scoring a couple points. So teams take a 1-point lead, 4-3 into this fourth end now with the hammer. So generally, have one of the players go around the end to figure as long as you're reduce taking time. Again, like and chances as much as he wants. Just hit as they tie, and it looks like it's rock and other. Of course, having a great program for championships last year, and the attempt to try exact for camera if we can. Need to be able to here from Viking wire. So the opportunity that you talked about here, maybe for going to draw down off of this red zone. A little bit of miscommunication on that shot, it seemed like. Sierra calling for their line that it was a little bit heavy than they would have liked, so that sweeper, maybe holding it out a little bit and carrying it a little bit farther than they wanted it to go. Exactly the risk we were talking about playing around the play. Hammer is always a tough situation. Now just one can flip your two and more. You're back. Okay, quite back there. This end. Tricky. Somebody here of the right team, but we're going to close a little bit first. So, as their sweepers have been attention to just like this spot is, able to put doesn't look that right now. Coming odd like finishing. Yellow too is a little lifted and those red rocks and you're going to leave the offer down and head out. We got a they didn't take
no idea how to deal with that,
and because they are so light yellow is still shot stone with really no opportunity for Team Sutherland to come down and make a promotion on that red rock other than maybe running one of the yellows in, which also presents its own kind of risk. So definitely might need to think about this shot if your team's going exactly where you want to place this rock, not to make things any easier for Team Sutherland than they already might be.
Official fifth chair.
Nice. Absolutely. Looked like the song was to try and come down and freeze on the corner.
Why?
You'll find it.
You should be very careful not bump off though and allow any kind of damage for Team Sutherland to set up a possible fourth.
It came up recently. He cries if I don't give him good scores, so I pumped him up a little bit.
But then again, I do kind of ignore scores for the opposition.
More or less. Substitute.
Sweepers may be thinking this is a little bit because maybe they're a little bit fortunate team going so sort of making a shot for, but in order to be
Way better.
look at our first hit.
Full time.
Later we think that a little bit more than the sport. I think that might be a slightly easier call. But she looks like she feels comfortable with this spot, so she is going to take on the risk of trying to come through that court and make the double for a possible 4 points.
I don't think anyone actually called anything.
Absolutely, definitely a critical shot here in this game. Final rock of the fourth end. Speakers on it early. Definitely going to try and get this past the center guard. It's curling. Banks open. And Sierra Sutherland cashes her check for 4 points. Possibly only 3. Looks like she only got the 3rd point. Didn't push that Yellowstone far enough to get her 4th point, but I think she'll be more than happy with 3 to take a 7-3 lead after 4 ends here in draw 4 action at the Provincial Championships. Definitely taking control of this game early. Absolutely perfectly swept. Perfect. I think what really made that shot was the weight control. Not overthrowing that shot, doing exactly what you needed. Maybe needed to sweep it a little bit more to make that shot, but all credit to them. You need to make sure you get that shot zone going. So definitely 3 is going to be more than enough. They'll definitely think that's middle. Absolutely. So credit where credit's due. What an excellent shot there by Sierra Sutherland. And Team Thorn in the hole early here. Of course, this is a 10-end game, and we've talked about the comeback ability that is available in a 10-end game with the 5-rock rule. But Team Thorn is going to have to dig themselves out of a pretty deep hole here in the second half. I've been setting them very well. Good. So far, what do you say at the 5th end break? Of course, maybe a little bit demoralizing, getting up 2 very big ends, of course, 4-score and a 3-score. You just try and focus on thinking about it and to get a lot as many as you can, even if you don't come in a good order on this. Talk Sati where you have more control of that game without 3 on ends and just take the just and another team. I think that's maybe what we'll see between maybe more experience, a little bit older than this Storm team. With a little bit of experience, you start to learn how to deal with these situations. When you're down early in a game like this, you don't panic, you don't give up on the game, you just continue to play and try to take it one shot at a time. Of course, you'll need a little bit of help from the opposition to get back into it at any point. So you just do what you can control, and that comes with a little bit of experience. Sometimes we do see these younger teams that if it's a moralized in situation like this, so I hope we don't see that. I hope you have a good job with the rest of this game.
No, we're just here.
Rocking the rings that Team Thor will have to deal with later.
It's not going to matter anyway.
Working hard on this one to try and hold the line. It looks like Wade's pretty good. Just need to hold the line to make a good tap here. I don't think you can ask for much more if you're Sierra Southern. An excellent shot there by the Vice, Adrian Beliveau, to really turn up the pressure cooker here against Team Thorn. Spencer, what's this?
Len, did you want to
Wade up here and make sure more than myself. So she makes this tap well, great of them, but one or the other. Not really there. So, like I said, great on this here and someone I need places you can talk that to run back.
Okay, but don't worry about it.
Just stay out a little bit, so covers up a tiny bit more of that red stone in the rings, but definitely think there's enough movement in this spot to get in there with a heavy draw or maybe even a backline weight. That weight back and they will be difference championships like this. Those tough just like weight, just heavy draws or just through kind of taps. Not overthrowing those rocks is really what makes the difference between maybe the top teams and the rest of So you have kind of options here. You can pretty much throw anything from that. Probably get enough throw, but it's important that the groove and the line that comes down needs to match the weight that you throw. So shots like this all come down to weight control. There's the comment. Said there's not all that they want to get in three, but match open here on this.
Yep.
Even if they make it, in all likelihood, red that they're hitting first will redirect off the second red and likely just roll into that yellow. It's going to be very tough. You have to hit that second red so thin so that the rock goes straight through and avoids that yellow. And like the shot of line. That's enough during heat. Stick around and get all so much. You have pressure on this end. The only Lindsay comes in your top snack. Let's have a double run here. Tracks out a little bit wide there, so it's going to be a steal of one for Team U21 here, and they're 8-3 lead into the fifth-time break here. So definitely a lot of room to come back if you're Team Thorn, but we're going to have more action for you following the fifth-time break here on Title Sports Live coverage of the 2020 Furlong Under-21 Men's and Women's Championship. The action of the fifth-time Provincials. Obviously, we'll have a couple the second half of it. Focusing on those.
we've done this many times.
It's almost it's not just because I take play away from those point guards. So more often than not, you'll see the team back here, hopefully stick around at corner.
He's still upright.
No. The Leaf player got his wrist cut last night. And they had them, they stayed in New Jersey, had surgery. The Russian. I'll look it up. No, the skate. It wasn't playing. This was the guy skate truck. Still, they were those
Corner guards. Just taking rolling through the rings. She's gone with the strategy of trying to end this game a little bit early, maybe. Trying to continue to keep her high execution of shots so far and try to put as much pressure on Team North as possible. Certainly,
The wrong color.
certainly a way to go about it, and that's going to happen for New York. The other team, why not try to keep the yellow?
I was like, what?
One miss. Team North with the opportunity.
Yellow taking yellow.
Looks like they might stay frozen on the red does spring loose, but sitting around here. Has where they be for and store the. It's not a matter of how much they're missing, but just the moments or the key and critical moments where the teams are missing.
There was like 5 cards, 4 or 5 cards. I said, that's something like the whole front end is the second spot.
Absolutely, I think so. Generally, when you look at those makes after misses, you generally look at almost like 40 to 50%. If you can always be higher than that, that's a really good. If you can take advantage of half of your opponent's misses, you're probably going to get yourself into a good spot. So, Team Sutherland with 11 out of 17 up over 65. That's like that really is the tip of the tape here, and that's why the score is as different as it is. Unfortunately, we see here Team Mooibroek is going to have the opportunity to set up a chance for 2 here. And And of course, those yellow rocks way over on the rings have not been moved at all. Like no play has ever been able to go over there. And I think that stems back to right from the start. I mean, Sierra had the opportunity to walk up and steal those guards and maybe would have had the chance to do something with those rocks over there on that side. But that yellow rock hasn't moved since it's been put there. Absolutely, and so right now, maybe not with the change that's hard to win if you have to see a really good goal made, but definitely a 2 setting up for Pittsburgh here in the 6th end.
It's like, oh, just stop. Must be biting.
Yeah.
We were so excited. Yeah. I thought they were just excited to go in.
Forward with her first, trying to keep this deuce set up for herself. She needs this to curl up a little bit, but it looks close. To roll rock. This simple this is good. So maybe not much. The outcome of good. They're correct. That top. We play a very good here. Games is put them on board. So the capitalize the strategic. You go into a situation 4-2 in the land. They will still come up one. It's going to need a lot of 2 with this game. So small. Losing the situation.
He's like,
first hand on the sheet. 9 to 3 and going to draw later to no. 4.
you?
Let's play basically wide open side. Don't see those very often.